Hi, my name's Goonesekera and this is my entry to Cinema and Makeup School's next level of cosplay competition. I want to attend Cinema and Makeup School to extend my artistry and skill. Currently I'm studying TV and film production, but I also work part-time as a retail makeup artist. I'm really lucky at the moment because I get to enjoy both sides, and I'm learning and working on something that I'm passionate about in fields that I really enjoy. However, I really want to push forward and work on the foundation that I've made. At the start of university in my first year, I had a project where I had to write about where I saw myself post-graduation, and this is my final year, so it's coming close to that point now where I want to go on to the next step. And in my goals and my plans, I wrote that I wanted to be a makeup artist for film. Close to that period of time when I was writing about my goals, the Oscars had just been on, and I remember watching the makeup artists for Dallas Buyers Club winning an award for their work. They really inspired me, and I looked at them as people that I would want to kind of pursue to be, as they really had honed in on their craft and they worked really well, and I really from that point knew that one day I wanted to be at that level where I would be at an award ceremony and I would be winning an award for my work. For my entry, I decided to focus on Scar as my character. Going back to my childhood, he's one of my favourite Disney villains. I decided that I wanted to do a twist, that I wanted to make it a little bit more different, so I gender bended the character and decided to use a female model and also represent him as what he would be like in his human form rather than his obviously animated character form. So it's not really trying to achieve kind of like a cartoonish effect, it's more about realism. And so what I did when I first started working on the project, I created a mood board with inspirational images that related to my theme. I then went on to create a face chart and a rough sketch of the costume and the design. I wanted to use a colour scheme of bronze, coppers, golds, because I felt like it represented that kind of warmth and that fiery personality that he does have. He's very much a drama queen, so I wanted it to be as dramatic as possible. I also drew on some other Disney villains as inspiration, so I used Maleficent and Ursula. Ursula was a really good inspiration because I looked at how they developed her character, the animators, and they were inspired by Divine, who was a drag queen at the time. So I decided to use a lot of drag queen techniques in my makeup as well. I also used tribal influences. All the materials from the costume were thrifted. Luckily, living in London there's a lot of diversity, so it was actually relatively easy for me to find some African material as well. It was very minimalistic because I wanted the makeup to be the key focus. The headpiece was made from a baseball cap, so I cut out the base of the baseball cap and then I used a hot glue gun and glued on feathers and some other embellishments to make it into something, you know, a lot more dramatic, and that was meant to represent Scar's mane. Although makeup's only temporary and it can be wiped away within seconds, its impact cannot be underestimated in the way that it can convey stories and its impact on filmmaking in general. Reflecting on everything, there's definitely improvements that I could have made, but there's always going to be room for improvement and room to grow. Hopefully the next step of my journey would be to attend your school, and hopefully I would have the opportunity to grow on these skills and get to the point where my skill is at its best. So thank you so much for taking me into consideration and watching my video today.